Hey there guys, what is going on, and welcome to episode 3 of our RC projects. Now guys, this is a Tamiya Mad Fighter. If you are tuning right now, we did a rebuild of the chassis. So I completely disassembled the chassis in episode 1, and I reassembled it in the previous episode. Now guys, if you did watch the previous episode completely, you'd know that today's episode is actually going to focus on the shell itself. We are going to be focused on the dimensions of the cuts, where to cut so that the shell fits the chassis, as well as we are going to be taking on a few little extra bits here as well. We're going to be cutting the driver itself. We're going to actually fit the roof and also the metal roof bit as well onto the chassis. We're going to do the driver. We're going to glue the racing dials as well, or the instruments on the shell, as well as we are going to be cutting the front bumper, making it nice and small. Roughly, I'm going to be cutting it right between here. I'm going to round it off nice and evenly because I really don't like the look of this bumper. It's just too goddamn big. First up, I'm going to take care of the front bumper here, which I'll need to disassemble once again. So I'm going to take it off. Going to mark it roughly where I want to cut it, and we'll start using the Dremel to cut the pieces off and just making it nice and small. Right guys, so it's time to take off the front bumper. There's 4 screws here, here, and here, which I'll need to take off to remove the front bumper. I'll quickly mark want to roughly cut the bumper, so I'm going to need a marker of sorts so I can mark the line of cut. And I'm going to be using this white paint because the bumper is black, so I'll need to use this. Okay, just get that roughly. I want to cut it around here, so just a rough cut. I'll even out the edges a little bit later on when I'm sanding down, but roughly around here. You guys can see that, which I think it's just going to look so much better than the bumper right now. Okay, so let's turn it to the side and remove the screws. And that's the front bumper removed. Okay guys, so I've got my front bumper already nice and marked. I've got my Dremel cutting tool, mini grinder, and yeah, so it's going to be a little bit awkward to do because of the positioning and everything, especially at the angles of doing it, but I'll give it a try so you guys can see what exactly am I doing. So turn on the Dremel and start cutting. Okay guys, so I've managed to cut the front bumper piece. As you guys can see, I did it off camera because it was a little bit fiddly, a little bit awkward for me to handle the drill. Sorry, not the drill, but the Dremel. But it looks pretty amazing, I have to say. So yeah, if you are going to be cutting the front bumper, guys, make sure you use a Dremel and just go around the edge really softly at first, and just then tear it in and try and get the perfect line that you want for the front bumper. Also, as you guys can see, there's a few rough edges around here, which I would definitely need to sand down, but it's not an issue at all. Okay, so here is how she looks like now. I think definitely a lot of improvement. It just makes the chassis a lot more aggressive looking, and also a lot more of a low profile. I'm really proud. So let's see what it looks like with the body on top of the chassis. The chassis. Smart that in. And that's what she looks like with the body on. Gotta say, it does make a massive improvement. Now guys, what I'm going to be doing next is cutting the driver's body roughly where the elbows would be, maybe even slightly higher. Now the reason I'm doing this is because the rear body mount position on the chassis is slightly off. It's going at an angle like that. Therefore, if I put the driver's body on the shell at the position it was supposed to be located on, which is roughly around here somewhere, then obviously, as you guys can see, the driver's body is interfering with the rear body mount, and also if I did mount the driver's head, that would cause even more problems, and I wouldn't be able to fit the driver on the shell. So I'm going to be cutting across here. I'll move the driver's positions a little bit forwards on the shell, and then I'll be able to fit the driver's head without any problems, as well as I'll be using the hot glue gun to fit the dashboard. As you guys can see, that you've got all the dials in there, and I'll be painting that later on as well. And also here's the driver's head, which I'll be mounting on as well with hot glue on the body. So we'll be doing that right now, guys. Right guys, so I've got the shell on the chassis, and also as you guys can see, I did point out that the rear body mount is also at an angle. So what I'm going to be doing is taking measurements, or roughly pointing out where I need to cut the driver's body and how to position the driver's body onto this piece of plastic over here on the shell. So let's quickly see how this is going to go down, and let me use the driver's helmet as well. That appears to be actually really good. Yeah. Okay, so let me mark it with a pen so I know where to position the driver's body on. Like so. And also I'll cut roughly around this section here. Okay, so I've got that down. Now I'm going to use the ruler here so I can draw a line across so everything's nice and straight. Okay. And that should do it. Now let's get the Dremel and start cutting across there. Okay guys, so I cut the driver's piece. As you guys can see, it's definitely a lot shorter now. What I'm going to be doing, I've got the glue gun all set and ready now. It's all hot, ready to go. So I'm going to quickly place this down and apply the glue gun on the driver, so everything's nice and done. Right then guys, as you guys can see, I finished working on the body. It's fully assembled. All that's left now is to give it a primer, base coat, and then, you know, just details and everything, stickers, which I'll be doing in the summer because the weather right now is absolutely appalling here in the UK. It's always raining, it's too cold to paint, and yeah. So I'll basically show you guys now what I did to the body. As you guys can see, I fitted the roof on it, you know, the other secondary roof as well, and I fit also the lights as well. Now what I did for the lights, I drilled in 2 holes through here, and then I just hot glue gunned it to keep them in place. I may put a lock nut in there in the future and take the hot glue gun off, but we will see if it holds or not. Now for the driver guys, as you guys can see, I did cut through here, a little bit through here and also through here, because I couldn't get the roof bit on if I didn't have the that panel there cut roughly. So yeah, I basically screwed it in, hot glue gunned it, used the arms as a stabilizer, hot glue gun that as well to give it a little bit more stability. Also, I had to cut through the driver's helmet as well, as you guys can see, because I could not fit him at all with the roof on. It just didn't fit, so I had to cut him a little bit, make him shorter or his head shorter. Sorry, the driver is going to be brain damaged obviously right now, but it's just looking pretty cool as well now, with the driver inside, and you don't really get to see or don't really notice it as much because of the roof as well being really low to his head, so that's a good thing as well. Now as I did say guys, it's absolutely cold outside, it's raining constantly, so I'm definitely not going to be doing any paint on the body until the summer, which then I'll be doing another paint job scheme on my 350Z body shell that I just got, which I'll be doing a separate review, or not review really, but a customization video on that in a short while as well. Okay, so let me just quickly fit this shell on the chassis, guys, to show you what it looks like. Right. It's a little bit fiddly, but it should fit like so. So this is what the chassis looks, the car looks like now, guys, with the shell on it. I really like it. It looks freaking amazing, guys. Also at the back here, I'm thinking of putting a mesh on it, but more on that a little bit later on, guys. So that's it for today's episode, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like if you have, guys, and also don't forget to subscribe for more. In the next episode, guys, we are going to be taking on the electronics and also the wheels and the suspension kit, and that's going to be the Tamiya Mad Fighter project complete, guys. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care, everyone, and thank you guys for watching. Peace out.